Ooh, a saucer of milk for Tina Brown. I've never actually heard of her. I suspect you haven't either. Apparently, she's the ex-editor of Vanity Fair. I wonder why she's the ex-editor. Could it be that she's not very kind to people? Who knows? But before we jump into this one, you know the score. Comments are open. Would love your opinion. So she's the ex-editor of Vanity Fair, and surprise, surprise, she's launching 2 new commercial services. An email newsletter and a podcast. So, of course, to launch the service and get some eyes on the service to make some dollars, she has to mention someone famous in a controversial way. And who is guaranteed to get her the eyeballs and the clicks? None other than Meghan Markle. So let's make something up about Meghan that's clearly not true, so my service grows, because nobody knows who the heck Tina is. It's all so predictable. We could have written a book about this when Mexit happened 5 years ago. Have a brilliant Tuesday. Use your critical thinking. See through the hype. Let me know what you think. Comments are open. What? The top 50 hottest men of all time? Not of the last decade, not of the last year, of all time. And Harry has made the list. I don't know any man who wouldn't want to be on this list. Sadly, I don't think I'll ever make it, but that's my problem to deal with. Before we jump into this article, you know the score. Comments are open. Would love your opinion. Now, obviously, an article of this nature in Harper's Bazaar is normally focused on looks. And, of course, Prince Harry always looks good, like a modern-day James Bond. However, they have also taken other attributes into account, including helping others, shining the spotlight on the things we need to talk about. You know, that's what we talk about on this channel. That's what Harry and Meghan are good at. Kindness and their overall impact on the world. So this just isn't a physical judgment, although he does look good there, let's face it. It's a more rounded evaluation of what being hot means. Well done, Hazza. Slightly jealous. Have a brilliant Wednesday, everyone. Comments are open. Let me know what you think. Stories, articles, clicks, advertising revenue. That model is true today, and it always has been since digital media was launched. But before we jump into this, many thanks to Henry VIII over on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, for giving us this lovely image of Harry and Meghan on the steps of Sydney Opera House, compared to Charles and Camilla trying to recreate that scene this week. And obviously for setting the story up. Go follow Henry VIII over on X if you have an X account. So, do the British digital media really hate the working, taxpayer-funded British royal family? Probably, because that family has turned off the taps. They've turned off the taps of any stories that are interesting because they actually do very little and they've got nothing to talk about. That decimates the business model of digital media outlets like this one, and particularly like the Daily Mail. Because without the stories, they don't get the clicks, and without clicks, they don't get advertising revenue. Charles and Camilla have a real issue. They cannot even stay in the top 30 Daily Mail stories when they go on a tour of a far-flung place that most hardworking Brits will never visit in their life. The golden shores of Australia that Brits find exciting and enticing are not enough for Brits to actually want to read a story about these guys. It's time for change in 24 and 2025. Let me know what you think in the comments, and a big thanks to Henry VIII again. Look, I'm doing normal stuff. I'm not behind a table with the Daily Mail headline in the background. I'm out and about walking in Yorkshire. If you've never been to Yorkshire, please come. I will show you around. Just stay in touch with me in the comments and I will be your personal tour guide. Anyway, get to the point, Martin. Observation for today. Meghan, Harry dominating the press. All over the press, globally. News about them translated into 48 languages. 48 languages, total dominance. And then you've got Charles and Camilla in Australia
They're not even on the top of the Daily Mail headlines. Like, if that protest, if the protester hadn't have heckled them, would there be any coverage? There's just no interest there, and like, I don't actually know who inside or outside the royal family can compete with Harry and Meghan. I mean, even if you're like an A-list celebrity power couple from the States, can you get those headlines? I just don't think you can. I think the British working taxpayer funded royal family has got a huge issue. Like, they're so unrelevant, they just can't get the coverage, they just can't get the interest. There's not the impetus, good word, from anyone to want to understand what they're doing. It's a problem for them, not for me, Hovs. Anyway, have a brilliant day. Let me know what you think in the comments.
This to me is a great example why normal, hard-working, tax-paying citizens and families have a problem with the British working, taxpayer-funded royal family, and then by default they have a problem with the press that report upon the royal family, particularly the Daily Mail. And this is a great example set up for us by Enterprise Diamond over on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Drop them a follow. So Queen Camilla was seen doing two things in Australia which are unusual for a person in her position. Firstly, she walked in front of Charles. Secondly, she had no shoes on, and she had no spare pair of flats or trainers to change into. If this was Meghan, all hell would have broken loose. And this is an example of where reporting standards differ based on who the main character in the story is. So we all know the press have a real problem with Harry and Meghan. The stories about them always have a negative influence or a negative spin. They really, really do try and remove any joy from Meghan and Harry's life. If Meghan had done the same, she would have been called lower class, probably would have been called a tramp. Camilla does it, and suddenly she's lauded with fake praise. The fake praise in this one being, she's had a long day of work. Now, whether you agree with that long day of work or not, and I particularly do not, she is entitled to do whatever she wants. But the fact is, the press report it as a positive story, i.e. an action that most people would do in her situation. If Meghan had done it, it would have been a completely different reaction. Comments are open, guys. Have a brilliant Thursday. Let me know what you think. Charles, Australia protest. Yes, we all know, guys, even if you just did basic history, that as the UK and the Commonwealth expanded, other countries and communities suffered due to the outrageous behaviour of the people that represented the Commonwealth at that time. Before we jump into this one, you know the score. Comments are open, would love your opinion. I'm surprised it's only a single one firebrand politician that's challenged Charles, newly landed in Australia. And this lady is actually quite right. There's nothing like history to show us the amount of theft of resources, people, including children, and land that the Commonwealth undertook upon the invasion of Australia. And there's only one word to use. It was an invasion because the indigenous people, which this politician represents, basically lost everything, including land and property, minimal rights, and were forced to live in isolation. And yes, of course, the tide is turning in Commonwealth countries, including Australia, but at what cost? Will that damage ever be repaired? I think it's bad timing for Charles and Camilla to go to Australia anyway, with all the other allegations against the British working taxpayer-funded royal family. And this is just shining a light on more behaviour from the past, which, of course, King Charles refuses to address. Because when the British working taxpayer-funded royal family don't like something, they just don't comment on it. Comments are open. Have a brilliant day. Let me know what you think. In yet another royal faux pas, William has retweeted a huge commercial organisation's advert, there's no other word for it, to the masses. And this is an absolute no-no for any member of the working royal family, because they are promoting a commercial organisation's offer. It's unfair to the other suppliers in the market, and William's falling directly into this trap of basically giving them free advertising. And this is a huge problem for everyone, including this organisation, and it's as a result of William and Catherine's desire to work via social media. So they've always told us when they put their initial on the end of the tweet, that shows us that they've worked to do the tweet themselves. I'm actually really, really annoyed at this, because this is a schoolboy error by William, and he knows better. Admittedly, it's not like his tweets get a massive audience, but that is not the point. It's almost as though it's deliberate in return for something else. I don't know though. Comments are open as ever. Happy Wednesday. I'd love your opinion. A rival Christmas party with the Middletons. Ooh, suits you, sir. All over Instagram, showing that clear distinction between the Middletons with Kate and the royal family with William and the children. Leaked to the press while Charles and Camilla are on tour overseas. What's going on? Before we jump into this, you know the score. Comments are open. Would love your opinion. So if you remember a couple of months ago, Kate's friend, on no photo, no name, Kate's close friend said that Kate was looking forward to spending Christmas with her children and the royal family, which caused all sorts of rumours, because it was either a really bad use of English and grammar, or there was more to the story, i.e. that Kate wasn't actually at that time living with her own children. But to me, this sounds like a deliberate attempt for the press to tell us something that they know, but they cannot portray clearly in a headline. Remember, guys, the press know everything that we don't. Just because they don't print it doesn't mean they don't know it. What are GB News trying to tell us about Kate? Let me know. Have a super duper Saturday. Well, we all know that William loves collecting roses, if you know what I mean. I've got to be careful what I say, because I don't want this video to be taken down. Before we jump into this one, you know the score. Comments are open. Would love your opinion. So this is a different Rose, if you know what I'm saying. Rose Farquhar was William's first love. And yet, in another story about the damage that being around the royal family can do to any normal functioning human being, it's really sad that Rose Farquhar's father was found dead. He was a functioning alcoholic. He had a severe problem with drink, following being a hunt leader with the royal family, where the drinking culture is embedded and drinking is part of the role, and you have to drink to be seen to be in and socialised. The poor fella used to go through a litre of gin a day and several bottles of wine, and that's directly from the coroner's report. That's not me making things up. Seems to me, if you've been around the royal family in the last 20 years, you're going to come out with some damage. What do you think about the Daily Mail dragging things up for William from 25 years ago? Is it a deliberate dig with the Rose name? Are they giving him a prod? Are they trolling him? Or are they just stuck for something to say? Happy Friday. Let me know what you think. The weekend is in sight. What Kate and William are really like behind closed doors. Let's see. So, if you didn't know, Mike Tindall has a book out just in time for Christmas. Nice. And it's being serialised and plugged by the UK Digital Daily Mail. So we can read what's in the book before it even hits the shelves. Good. If you didn't know who Mike Tindall is, he's King Charles's sister's daughter's husband. Yes, confusing. So he's King Charles's niece's husband. Anyway, let's get to the point. Kate and William attended his podcast, which was recorded in both audio and video. And in his book, he's telling us that royal fans would be blown away if only he was allowed to include some of the material that was cut. Yes, that's right. Some of the material that didn't make it into the final podcast, and remember this is video 2, right, of them all sat around talking, had to be cut. But our perception of them would have been changed if they could have included that material. That just sounds really odd to me. I mean, I'll tell you, he doesn't reveal anything in this book at all about what Kate and William are really like. And he doesn't allude to what the material is to make us, as a public, tax-paying public, identify with Kate and William and then be blown away. Sounds like he wants to make them a little bit more interesting than they are, if you ask me. Also, this podcast was years ago. Is it relevant anymore? I've no idea. But as usual, guess what? The comments are open. I'd love your opinion. Happy Friday. The weekend's in sight. Sarah Ferguson, Fergie, has launched herself on TikTok. Of course, she's the ex-wife of Prince Andrew, although they still live together, which is a bit weird for me, but if it works for them, hats off to them. Launched herself on TikTok, presumably in an attempt to monetize the channel in view of her previous financial problems. And she's dropping mental health gold dust, I'm being sarcastic, on the beautiful beaches of Ireland, telling us that when things get overwhelming, she goes outside and gets some fresh air. Wow, the press are fawning all over this brilliant advice, even though it was literally written in books 3 decades ago. Anyway, it's time to get into the point, Martin. I used to have a lot of patience, time, and a tiny bit of respect for Fergie because God knows in her life she's made some bad choices. Marrying Prince Andrew was probably one of them, but she's been snapped by the paparazzi in the Bahamas sun, letting some rich dude suck her toes. She was then set up by a newspaper, taking a bribe from a fake sheikh in exchange for access to the royal family. Then she was the face of Weight Watchers, which kind of spectacularly failed when she put loads of weight on. And then, of course, she took cash from Jeffrey Epstein via Andrew to pay off her debts. So that's 5 things off the top of my head where at best she's been unlucky, at worst she's just a fool, okay? I'm really annoyed at this story and her coming onto TikTok for one reason though, and I won't sit on the fence as normal. She has children of her own who are both female, and at no point, despite her accepting money from Epstein to clear her own debts, at no point has she put any pressure on Andrew to cooperate with law enforcement organisations, even just as a witness. She has seen what side her bread is buttered on, if you know what I'm saying, because she effectively lives for free in a royal lodge, and she has kept her mouth shut rather than doing the right thing. She never sat down with Andrew and said, how does this look to the public when they look at our family? We have female daughters who are now married and have children of their own, and you are refusing to give a witness statement to help the female victims of child. Sorry, it's a long one today. Had to get it off my chest. Have a brilliant Saturday. Comments are open as ever. Let me know what you think.
The lies, the lies, the lies. So GB News decided to create a very false narrative by stating, Miller in tears doing emotional farewell as King tells Samoans he hopes to survive long enough to come back. Now, if you were to see this photo out of context, you would easily believe that narrative that they're trying to paint, right? Because this is what they do with Meghan all the time. They take out one frame or two and then they say she's controlling Harry. She's doing something. She's being disrespectful. Anything that's negative. But in this case, they're doing something to try to make Queen Camilla seem like this noble, honorary, good queen that she is. And she's not. And this is why I constantly say in my videos, guys, you guys have to start sharing these videos, spreading the word. I don't care what you do. Learn how to use this app and share these videos, because if you want the word out there, this is how you do it. Because this is a complete lie. Now, this was the last of King Charles and Queen Camilla's tour in Australia. And I want you all to take a look. Do you see it cry? Because the truth of the matter is, these photos is actually her crying of laughter during a traditional Samoan ceremony. And this is even confirmed by royal journalist Roy Nika, as she puts in her tweet. King Charles speaks of hoping to survive long enough to return to Samoa. I shall always remain devoted to this part of the world and hope that I survive long enough to come back again and see you. As the heavens opened, Queen Camilla got the giggles hiding behind her fan. This is someone who's boots on the ground doing this whole thing. Two separate things that they try to match up to try to get sympathy points because this tour is failing, or it failed. Again, you guys need to be sharing this video to get the word out, because me just reaching 10,000 people is not enough. Stuff like this reached thousands and millions of people, and people will believe that this innocent, perfect queen is so noble and she cares for her husband, and she might care about him, but in this moment it had nothing to do with him. She was laughing at her traditional ceremony for the Samoan people, and this isn't the first time she has done this before. You guys would tear Meghan to shreds if this was her. I mean, we will have a whole decade of articles about this one moment if this was her laughing at their tradition. But you guys, let me get off this video right now before I say something that I might regret. You know, for a couple that's supposed to be like this plague or this like irrelevant, fame hungry, narcissistic. However, the same people that criticize them for literally every single thing that they do, not trying to throw an icon status on the Temu version of this iconic photo. Take a look. I keep saying this. You can put a pig in makeup, you can put a pig in a wig, but it's still a pig. You can't put a square in a round pig hole. Can't make a person have the it factor. You can't make a person have the it factor. And screaming and shouting that these people are a star won't make them a star. It won't make people like them. You can keep telling yourself that, but just because you're telling yourself that doesn't make it true. If you enjoy my content, please make sure that you give your boy a follow, like, share this video, leave a comment. I would love to know what you think. We are almost at 30K. Okay, let's get us there. And if you're really supportive of Dre, make sure you go follow my second page, A Quest with Dre. We're almost at 400, and we're on the road to 1,000. Okay, I want you guys to watch this video because I know I'm not trippy. Look. Did you see that? Look at it again. Look at it again. Let me move over. Oh, did her mask slip? Do you see how quickly that smile changed to? I have never seen that from Kate, ever. Is she fake? Is she a narcissist? Just look at that. Look at that. She was like, whoa, Kate, did you just slip up this perfect Kate? Oh, narcissist. Maybe she doesn't want to be there. Maybe she was forced to do this little engagement to try to make it seem like her and Will are together. Narcissist, look at that. Look how it changed. Oh my God. So you see how ridiculous that sounded? You see how ridiculous I looked? You see how pathetic that looked? For me to sit up here and just assume, because I don't know, it's out of context. I can't really say why her facial expression just changed like that quickly. But this is the things that you haters who are watching me do all the time with Meghan for the littlest things that could be taken out of context. This is a, 10-second little clip that I edited together to make it longer. And I just showed you close-ups. I put dramatic music behind it. You see my reaction. So your brain is telling you, oh, there is something there. There is something there. That's how this works. This is how these con artists constantly fool you all to believe this nonsense. It's so easy to put narcissists, fake. All those tropes that you put on Meghan, we could easily put on her right now. Because I'm going to say this. Although I'm being sarcastic with this entire video, I will say that was a little bit, even for Kate, that was a little, I've never seen Kate just smile and then, do you know what you guys would be saying if this was Meghan doing the exact same thing? Do you know how many videos these con artists on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, besides me trolling and besides me being a sarcastic smart aleck, this video was a little bit, I'm not even gonna lie. Now that I'm thinking about it, that smile was just like, normally Kate is very poised. She plays the role really well. But this was the first time ever I've ever seen her mask slip. And now that it's like kind of sinking in, even though I was trolling it originally, I'm starting to kind of like, wait, why did she just smile in? But again, this is how things are taken out of context. And this is how the con artists, the grifters, keep getting some of you people on the internet doing this exact same thing that I'm pretending to do. Watch out! Careful what you consume on the internet. That's all I'm gonna say. If you enjoy my content, please make sure that you give your boy a follow, like, share this video, leave a comment. I would love to know what you think. We are almost at 30K. Okay, let's get us there. And if you're really supportive of Dre, make sure you go follow my second page, A Quest with Dre. We're almost at a 400 and we're on the road to 1,000.
Hello my people, Lady Rose here. To all my new subscribers, you're welcome, and my returning subscribers, you all know I love you. How y'all do, guys? So you watched the Ministry of Hacks. Y'all guys follow the brother on TikTok. He does a really wonderful job. You heard everything that he said. You know, Camilla walking around barefoot, but what are you guys expecting? Camilla is a great granddaughter of another homewrecker. What was her name again? I forgot her name. Maybe Alice. I believe it's Alice or something. I forgot Alice's last name. Y'all drop it down here. That Alice, Camilla's great grandmother, was dating Charlie Boy's great grandpapa. Yeah. He used to be a prince of Wales and then became one of them kings. I don't know if his name is Albert. I believe it's Albert because they called him some kind of funny name. They said the dude was so unhealthy with big belly and all those, and that's how he kind of passed from eating too much. So that was Camilla's great grandmama. Camilla ain't no aristocrat. Camilla came from long line of mistresses. Just imagine, Camilla, Meghan Markle was the one who walked around barefoot in Australia. Or it was in Australia or in Samoa, one or the other. One or the other. She was there, and I saw her on other video here on my brother Baron's channel, the Royal Success. Yeah, I saw that lady around, walking around like she was a high. You know, that lady be walking around with apple wine. Yeah, that's what I heard. She drinks apple wine, and the other one is called gin and tonic. I don't know, that gin tonic, how come the thing sounds like it's something sweet? Because that lady doesn't look like she drinks anything sweet. Look at her. She's 77 years old, and Charlie Boy is 75. And we don't know who's gonna go to join their grandparents in those vault. I don't know who's gonna be joining the mamas and them daddies in the vault. They call it family vault. One is in Westminster Abbey, and the other one, I don't know where they are gonna join them soon. But let's see which one gonna join which one first. Alice Couple. That was the name of the mistress, the homewrecker. That was her name, Alice Couple. You go Google her. Google here on YouTube. I'ma look for those videos for y'all guys so I could bring it here for y'all guys so you could watch and listen stuff about that Alice couple. This homewreckers great grandmama. So it's normal for her to walk around, you know. You never seen that queen, that lazy lady hang around there for 70 years. You never seen the lady's toes. Never. You never seen that lady walking around barefoot. Never. That's the queen. Unlike this one here. They wanted to project their picture on that theater, I believe, something there where they do put their pictures. But guess what? Lizzie's picture could not leave the place for this one here for their homewrecker. Yeah, this lady made Princess Diana's life miserable. I have no respect for her. Not at all. A night lady escort. So did y'all guys see the picture where her and Charlie Boy took the picture, where Harry and Meghan took the picture? But boy, that cameraman did them disservice. It's like these people really don't like him. Them cameramen, all those their journalists, all those railroaders, they don't like these people. But guess what? Because they need bread and butter with English muffin and money for tea, because them people broke as hell that they ain't got even clean water in that kingdom. Sewage, you got boo-boo everywhere in the city. Terrible. Oh boy. Karma. Auntie Karma showed up. Auntie Karma showed up on these people. Did y'all read all those articles there on royal success? I'm telling you, these people. The world doesn't like them. The Commonwealth people are asking for reparation. And we are also asking for reparation and colonization, reimbursement. Everything needs to be repaired by these people. And by Charlie Boy before he goes. Because that little boy of his, that bully boy, he's never going to become a king. And so is that boy, the other one, the George kid. He ain't not going to be king. The last king is this Charlie Boy here. And before he goes, he better repair everything with us. And you thought doing Meghan Markle dirty was going to help y'all. Guess what? Your brain has stenosis. Go Google that word. The brain stenosis. The narrowing of the brain. So your brain shrunk. Because you know why? Because you just so dumb, so stupid. You forgot real quick. You forgot that the kings of England did what they did to us, and we're living down with that trauma right now. And our kids are born also still traumatized by what y'all guys did to our ancestors. And you, with your dumbness, stupidness, brought it out here in public. Hating on Meghan Markle, hating on black blood, hating on the black people who made you and made your ancestors. Shame on you. I love that parliament member of Australia who stood up with no shame and called you out in public before everyone, and the world saw it. Everybody's laughing at you. The people still welcoming you in that Samoa. Forgetting everything that y'all did to us. Forgetting what y'all did to brown and black people. And still doing it right now. Your reputation preceded you. In that place, that woman did what she did. One protest, the voice was so loud. God bless you, sister. God bless. God bless the Australians for standing up. And most of those elected members of the government did not want to see y'all guys rotten souls, hating humans, terrible devils. And I'm hoping this is probably gonna be last time y'all guys gonna step foot in all those brown and black people countries. You came here, Tom Bauer came, told us what you think about our cultures. And you went to Australia, your own people could not welcome you. Those people want a republic. They want to break free from you losers. What do you guys do for people? What do you do? You raise money for charity, yet you put those money in your pocket. Your son goes around and yells the name of homeless people and goes around, puts black people on camera to tell the world that he's not racist. We saw what you did to Meghan Markle, bully him. We saw what you did to Prince Archie, little tiny baby, who is your blood nephew. Because he has black blood, you will go to hell. You just walking around those poor black people who ain't got nothing. They're sleeping on the streets and you claiming to go there to spend the night with them. You don't see all those billionaires who are raising money out here to help people. Melissa Gates. She raises money to help people. You have lots of foundations around here helping people. We have our president's foundations of helping people. We have the Carter Foundation building homes for the poor with the habitat of humanity. You never seen our ex-president. Happy 100th birthday, Mr. Carter, Mr. President. We appreciate you. Thank you for all you do for the poor people. This guy has a foundation that works with the habitat of humanity in the United States of America and builds homes for the poor, helps the poor. He doesn't go to sleep on concrete downtown Denver, sleep side by side by a home with the homeless people. Sleep one night, the fake night. You came there with camera, tried to fake you sleep 2 minutes, gave that guy probably £1 to take a picture with him. But guess what? My black brother is cold. My black brother is poor. He's sleeping on the streets. He has no water. He has no warm place to sleep. He sleeps on the streets. And you went there to mock my brother, and you told my brother to tell the world that you're not racist. The world knows who you are. Why am I here? Why am I here supporting Harry and Meghan? When Meghan got married into that family, I said the family was apologizing to everything that they did to our race. Now they got our daughter into that palace. They are going to treat her well, and we are going to try to forget everything they did during colonization, during slavery and everything. But no, the devil came and exposed you. Because y'all guys ain't got no Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit couldn't come out there to expose you. Guess what? Devil himself does not like certain kind of ugliness. You did our race so wrong, that monarchy of yours. Did us so wrong. And now what you did to our daughter, to our sister. We're coming here taking our precious time to come to confront you and expose y'all guys to the world. We'll be doing some other better stuff. We would be doing some other better stuff, praising them, doing some good stuff along you guys and your monarchy. But you throw that in the water because guess what? Your brain has stenosis. Or maybe you have aneurysm, one or the other. That's what happens when you lot of inbreed. Lot of all those. That's why they say sisters should not marry sisters. Brothers should not marry sisters. Family is sacred. But you guys don't see that. That's why you are the way you are, with twisted DNA, heinous DNA. The DNA that was created to do wrong. And shame on you. Let's see how long you're gonna reign with all that thing y'all guys doing around. The world doesn't like you. So did y'all guys see the little video by Prince Dre the Duke? Y'all go there and subscribe to my brother's channel. He has a YouTube channel also on TikTok. Follow the brother. So, you know, this is GB News. Did y'all see the video behind Prince Dre the Duke? It says Camilla was crying. Did y'all guys see that she was crying in that video? Well, if she's crying, that her husband ain't gonna leave that long. But for some reason, the husband is even younger than her. I don't know. Sometimes older age analyzes people. So that mistress is 2 years older than that dude. So maybe the dude might live longer. You know, I heard those rich people do actually go and change them blood. I don't know how accurate is that, and how can you really prove that scientifically, taking some young blood, because the major components of blood, the platelets or the plasma and all, everything there, it does not really like a need to be certain age to help people. I don't know if a younger person's blood is gonna rejuvenate some other person. I don't know, but that's what people say. They say them rich people, they drain them old blood and put in the young blood. I'm telling you, science, I love science. You know, I learned science for lots of years. Yeah, so I'm telling you, I don't believe in that, because ain't no anything saying like there is an aging blood. The only thing you need in those blood is the elements of those blood there. The white blood cell, and the red blood cell, erythrocyte, erythropoiesis. What do you call it? Come on here. Yeah, you need all those ones there, and white blood cells, and you need those plasma, and all those just makes the blood. And you need to have a certain type of blood to get the transfusion from certain a group of blood. But I don't know about them rich people changing the blood, turning the changing, taking like a little tiny baby's blood and put it in some old people and make them live forever. I don't know how they're gonna do that, but when God is gonna say it's over, it's gonna be over. And you know, God does not like ugly. If you guys are faking that news, putting that Camilla's cry, but you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Charlie Boy is gonna cry Camilla. Yeah, you'll be surprised that Charlie Boy is gonna have another last woman. Pull the card of one of the last mistresses who was left behind when he 95. Just wait. He ain't going nowhere. That guy need to pay everything that he did to Meghan Markle. Because you know, people do tell you you're going to pay for everything in heaven. No. Both my parents died. And when I was very young. So I tell you, them people never came to my dreams and telling me like, guess what, Rose? Here, you gonna come pay for your sin. No. Sin, you pay for it down here. Oh, you pay for all your sins down here. Oh, Charlie Boy is gonna pay all of his. Okay, everything he did to Meghan Markle, he's gonna pay everything down here. Everything he did to that Prince Archie, he's gonna pay that thing down here. Just wait and see. He ain't going nowhere. Y'all guys came with that big C, the pancreatic, whatever. Listen, this dude did not have no big C. This guy was exposed as being racist. Piers Morgan came with a statement out here. It was written in somebody's book. That's why there's two Katie McMumbles and that dude disappeared. They did not have no big C. And that McMumbles, did y'all hear this part here? Did y'all hear? You know, guys, I apologize. This is my camera. You know, this camera is so nosy. I don't know what to do. Because when somebody's doing anything, or maybe a bird just flies by, it just beeps saying somebody's at my home somewhere. Yeah, because, you know, when you like a... I'm not going to say too much. Yeah, you know what I mean. Cat ladies, we got cameras at home, 25, if I may say that. 25 cameras every single way. I camera my home up. There are lots of weird people on this planet. You know. So that camera is what is messing up, like beeping all the time. It's not beeping, it's just sending me notifications. And I don't, when I'm recording, it's hard to turn off the notification. Yeah, I need to figure out how to turn off those notifications when I'm recording so it won't be beeping on y'all guys. But I apologize, okay? So what was I talking about? McMumbles. I'm telling you, did y'all guys hear what they said? McMumbles is tired. What Minister of Hack said, McMumbles is bored by the monarchy Christmas. So right now, she's gonna celebrate Christmas with the Middletons. Did y'all see that video by Prince Dre the Duke? Did y'all see that video? The facial expression of McMumbles. When she was coming from somewhere, they went to greet some people with a bullion. She came and she was smiling at the camera. And when she turned a little bit, she saw the cameraman turning his head. McMumbles' facial changes. Her face became straight. Don't let nobody fool you. Do not let nobody fool you. They're divorced. Or legally separated. Didn't they tell you the monarchy Christmas was a tradition? What power does a commoner like Wadey Katie McMumbles Middlebum has to stop the monarchy from celebrating their Christmas and change it to some broken asses of Middletons? The fraudsters, the bankrupt citizens of that country, telling the monarchy to change their long tradition that they probably came up with. They probably came up with mind. What does Santa Claus has to do with Christmas? What does Santa has to do with Christmas, Father Christmas? What does the South North Pole has to do with Christmas? Jesus was born in Jerusalem, in Bethlehem. And Bethlehem, which is, Jesus was born in Bethlehem in a thing there, which is in the Middle East. What does that have to do with some North Pole, South Pole, whatever? Santa. White men with white beards. Huge belly. Huge. What does Santa has to do with Christmas? If it's not, this same monarchy came up with this tradition. And right now, all of a sudden, you telling me after all those years, they created this holiday. And they created that King James Bible. And tell me they didn't put that thing in the Bible. I believe the true Christmas existed, which is the real birthday of Jesus Christ. But everything else, the twisted stuff that came up with modern day Christmas, it came from this same monarchy. And you telling me Mick Mumble's just got power to switch, changed, because she is the mother of a future king of England, and that kid ain't gonna be king. We're here. Who told you I'm gonna die tomorrow? I'ma be here 125 more years. You can't get rid of me. After all that you did to Meghan Markle, I ain't going nowhere. Y'all ain't gonna be at peace. Never. Lunatics, racists, rotten racists. I just can't stand y'all. I can't stand your faces. Just look at you. I mean, look at you. All right, my people. I love y'all so much. I'm going to talk to y'all again next week, you know. I need to wait for those video compilations from everyone else. You can't get those videos every day. Because if I'm just going to tell myself I'm going to start making those videos like every day the way I used to do before first, I don't have enough time nowadays. I got lots of work to do. I told you guys I started a new business, and my job just became super busy. Like everybody is mentally ill nowadays. Lots of anxiety. So I'm treating anxiety and depression and all those combined, okay? I'm doing God's work, okay? So I'm requesting you all guys. Let's go to Isabella Banks and hit that subscribe button. Let's get our sister to 10,000 subscribers.